and welcome to Good Games Spawn Point, the show for gamers by gamers. I'm Hex.
I am Darren.
And I'm Goose, filling in for Bajo for about the next 6 weeks while he's off filming another show for ABC3.
Now, Goose, did you get the revised co-host reviewer guidelines? I left them on your desk. It's pretty important ABC policy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got those. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm totally prepped. It's all up here, guys.
Oh, great. Because today we're reviewing one of the most anticipated games to be released this year, No Man's Sky.
Pew pew! Oh, 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 pew pew!
Yeah, so if you hadn't read the policy, I'd be seriously worried.
Imagine reviewing that without considering editorial policy standard 2.2.
Yeah. Oh, imagine that. Darren, isn't it time for your question thingy?
Oh, why, affirmative, Goose. Scrub up those synapses, spawnlings. It's time for Darren's Challenge! Today, I'm asking you this. In LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, who is the first character to speak in the game? Answer at the end of the show.
Oh, because it actually starts during Return of the Jedi, doesn't it?
It does too. Well, while you think on that, Hex, I'm off to report on some of my gaming picks.
Oh, have fun. I wonder what Bajo is doing right now.
Probably sampling some gourmet toasted cheese sandwiches.
Classic Bajo.
Yeah.
Okay, here are my picks for this week. And first up, people have uncovered some strange stuff after digging through No Man's Sky's files on PC. The process, commonly called data mining, found an interesting 3D model of an astronaut, which may well be what your player character looks like. They also found a 3D model of a monkey wearing a fez, which I'm personally hoping is actually what your player character looks like. One other small tidbit uncovered was the fact that the Havoc physics engine license that they have covers development for an Xbox One version. Could it be coming to Microsoft's console? We'll have to wait and find out, I guess. And next up, developers of a free fan-made Pokemon game, Pokemon Uranium, have unsurprisingly been forced to take it down. The game was released on August 11th after being in development for 9 years, but was taken offline just 3 days later, after Nintendo's lawyers sent takedown notices to websites hosting the game. However, in those 3 days, over 1.5 million people downloaded the game, which featured over 100 fan-made Pokemon. Just goes to show, if you want to make a Pokemon game, you probably shouldn't, unless, you have permission. And that's it for this week. Back to you guys in the studio. Back to me in the studio. I'm heading to the studio. Yeah.
Great work, Goose.
Yeah, nailed it.
All right, well, time for our first review. This is Snakebird.
Ew.
Well, that's the name of the game we're reviewing, Goose.
Yeah, but I mean, a snake that's also a bird. It could fly, it can crawl, it can go everywhere.
Oh, no, don't worry. It's much cuter than that. Snakebird is the colourful puzzle game by developer Numenon Games. It originally came out on PC last year, but it's just been released for Android and iOS mobile devices.
The object of the game is this. Swipe to move your snake bird one step at a time so that you eat all the fruit and open the swirly colour portal to the next level. That's it. It's really very simple.
But Darren, looks can be deceiving, and Snakebird is actually a very difficult little puzzler. The problem is that your bird will fall into the water or die in a puff of colour if it hits dangerous obstacles. You always need to have at least the tail of your snakebird on something solid to stop it from falling.
Yeah, and that's not always easy to do on these cramped little island levels. And that's made even tougher by the fact that you can't make your snakebird move backwards. So you're very quickly stuck in these situations where fruit seems impossible to reach, or once you eat it, impossible to slither safely out of the position you're in. You guys, I was tearing my hair out and only on the 5th level.
This is dastardly design, Hex. And yet, it's so charming. Snakebirds, they're adorable.
That's kind of true, Darren. I still don't know if I want one as a pet. But I did warm up to it with those cute noises and that little snakebirdie face. Oh. I do actually really like the art style. The map reminds me of classic Mario, and each level just pops with so much colour and charm.
Well, that cartoony look is what made me really want to play it, even if you get stuck for ages trying to brute force your way to the exit of the level.
The game does have a handy undo button, so you can keep reverting back to your previous move to save you having to refresh the level back to the start every time you get stuck. Although, some sort of tip or hint function could have been useful. I saw how much poor Goose was struggling at times.
Darren! But yeah, that is true. It is really tough when you get stuck on one of those frustrating levels and the only option is to close the app. It'd be nice if they had something there just to ease players through it a bit.
I found the levels where you had to control 2 different Snakebirds to be a nice variation. Needing to use one as a makeshift platform for the other made me look at the levels in a completely different way. Although it made the puzzles even harder.
This may be a game that you could play with an older brother, sister, parent, or guardian, where you could workshop possible solutions as a team.
Yeah, double the brain power. What are you going to give it, Hex?
I think this is a game to chew on for a really long time, so I'm giving it 4 out of 5 rubber chickens.
I think I could have used some easier levels early on, so I'm going to give it 3.
Now it's time for you two to slither over to our spawn point desk.
Is it okay if we just walk?
Affirmative.
I'm slithering.
Oh!
All right, Goose, are you ready to answer some of these spawnlings' questions?
All right, let's give it a shot, Hex.
All right, that's the spirit. Let's kick things off with this one from Hoy, who is on Bajo's Head in Western Australia.
I thought Bajo was in Melbourne, Victoria.
I don't think they're actually on Bajo's Head, Goose.
This is already very confusing.
Hi, I'm a big fan. My questions are, in Minecraft, why can't you mine bedrock? Also, Hex, do these. Whee!
Well, Hoy, the simple answer is because bedrock is basically the lining at the bottom of the world. Below that is just a black abyss of nothing.
Yeah, so they stop you from mining it so that you don't just fall out of the world.
But you can actually destroy it in creative mode on PC if you want to see what the abyss looks like for yourself.
All right, not bad, Goose.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's try another one. This comes from The Fact, who is in Gladstone, Queensland. Full of facts there.
That's the fact. The quickest way of getting to my ship in No Man's Sky.
Well, the fact is you should tend not to venture too far from your ship because the further you wander away from it, the further back you have to walk to get to it.
Yes, but if you have ended up wandering very, very far away, then you may get lucky and stumble across a little base. And if you find one of them, you can then use a terminal to quickly summon your ship back to you. But you will need to craft a bypass chip to use that terminal.
Otherwise, you're just going to have to hoof it back towards your ship. But keep in mind that if you've fallen down a cliff or a steep hill, then you can use your jetpack infinitely, as long as you're pushing up against the hill.
There's also a little trick that you can use for jetpacking around the world quickly. Essentially, all you have to do is while you're sprinting, click the melee button and then straight away activate your jetpack quickly, and that should cause you to rocket forward. It's a bit of a glitch and it doesn't always work, but it can help you get around quite quickly.
Nice one, Goose. Bring in the pro tips. I like it. All right, well, next up we have this one from King of Noobs, who is in Melbourne Noobs Castle in Victoria. Melbourne has its own Noobs Castle.
I believe it has its own Noobs Kingdom down there, actually.
Melbourne's full of noobs.
Yeah, take that, Melbourne. Nah, you guys are all right.
You're from Melbourne.
Shh, don't tell them.
Hi, GGPS. Is there any way to move in Pokemon Go without moving and not getting banned? If you do not answer, I will send my noob army to you and they will destroy you! P.S. Darren is a noob. P.P.S. Bajo is a nerd. P.P.S. Hex is awesome. Everyone, including Goose, do these.
Land.
Upside down.
King of Noobs out.
Well, your noob highness, we... Oh. Hello. Yeah!
According to Rule 6 of subsection triple B of the revised co-host guidelines, the host stepping in for Bajo shall bow to all Ask Spawn Point royalty. For this infringement, I must give you a yellow card.
Wait, Darren, that's not fair.
Well, it is in the guidelines, which you read thoroughly.
One more yellow card warning, and it is a noob cupping for you, Goose.
All right. Okay, well, your noob highness, we also... Hello?
Rule 7 of subsection triple B states that all bows should be made relevant to the royalty. That was just a normal bow, Goose. And for this, I'll have to give you a second yellow card.
Oh, no.
And as we all know, that is equal to a sip from the noob cup.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is the worst.
Guidelines.
Sure. Oh, wow, that's gotten worse.
I can smell it from here.
Oh. All right, well, can we just move on to answering the question?
Oh, just get it away.
Ugh, all right, well... Oh dear. There are some ways to move around in Pokemon Go without having to actually move yourself and not get banned. Ugh.
Yeah, but you shouldn't under any circumstances do anything to trick your GPS or phone into thinking you're somewhere else. There are ways, for example, to trick your phone into thinking you're in France, even though you're in Sydney if you wanted. But Niantic are very aware of those tricks and will happily whack your account with a lifetime ban for doing anything of the sort.
But that doesn't mean there aren't a few other sneaky tricks out there.
One I've noticed is that you can simply leave the game open in certain places, like big buildings where the GPS can't really lock onto you that accurately, and that causes your character to move around even while you're not actually going anywhere. Another thing you could do is if you have one of those automatic robot vacuum cleaners, you could put it on that while it's running around cleaning things and you could be clocking up free meters.
Yeah. Yellow.
That is cruelty to robots. Did you ever ask the robot if it wanted to play Pokemon for you?
Darren, I don't think you need to ask. Isn't it going to enjoy playing the game with you?
That's subjective.
I'm sure they're having a good time. Thanks, Darren. Really, though, you should just go out for a walk and do it yourself. Any game you want to play by not playing it probably isn't worth playing in the first place.
Let's move on to one more question for today. We've got this one from Noob Destroyer, who is inside of Bajo's computer in Queensland.
Ooh, he's not going to like that.
No. Hello! I watched your LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens review, and Bajo made a mistake. He said the BB-8 was a he, not a she. The official Star Wars producers said that BB-8 was a girl, not a boy. Therefore, Bajo will have to drink from the noob cup. Hex, do these. Kind regards, the Noob Destroyer. I mean, I always called BB-8 a he, I suppose, but really it's a droid, so it shouldn't really have any gender.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that droids do have a gender, but then wouldn't we say that Darren is a boy? I mean, he's got a pretty manly voice.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess he would be the expert on the matter, so why don't you give him a call?
What's his number?
I don't know, Bajo usually just kind of mashes the keypad and it gets through. Yeah, just like that.
It's ringing.
This is the ABC switchboard. I'm putting you on hold.
I'm on hold?
Should just go straight through. This is awkward.
No, just kidding, it's me, Darren.
Oh.
How can I help you today?
We've got a spawnling here who says that Bajo is a noob for calling BB-8 a he, because apparently, according to the film's producers, BB-8 is a she. But do droids even have gender?
Well, droids do certainly have personalities and characteristics which can be skewed to be either more male or female, but they don't have genders in the true sense of the word. But in an interview with Neil Scanlan, the head of creature design on The Force Awakens, he revealed that while BB-8 was initially developed as a female, as production furthered, BB-8 evolved to be a male character. So, Bajo would be glad to know that he is free of any noobery for saying that BB-8 is a he.
Well, personally, I think we should just consider BB-8 to be genderless. I mean, it's a droid, it doesn't need to be a boy or a girl.
Well, it's a perfectly valid perspective, Hex. However, the film's creators clearly disagree with you on that.
All right, well, thanks for that, Darren.
Thanks, Darren.
On that note, we're out of time for this week, but if you'd like to ask us something, then you can go here and send in your question.
Now what?
Well, now we go back to the studio.
Oh, yeah, yes, of course.
You never watch this show?
No, I do. I'll be right behind you. Okay, guidelines. How to fill in for hosting, yes. Yep. How to work with a robot co-host, that'll be important. Yes. Okay, here we go, guidelines. Hosts must work together to review games sensibly, that makes sense. Hosts are rewarded with cheese toasties after episodes. Didn't know that. Hosts must never wear the same hat at the same time. That's surely got to be out of date. Anyway, yep. Reviewing robots. All right, this seems pretty good.
Where is Goose?
I don't know, he was right behind me. I was mid-conversation, I turned around and he was gone.
Darren, good to see you're adhering to section 48, line 3 of the co-host guidebook. To always wear a costume when applicable.
Oh,
absolutely right, Goose. Well, now it's time for our second review.
Ah, yes. No Man's Sky is the space exploration experience from Hello Games. It's a game with a procedurally generated open universe to explore, kind of like Minecraft. There's an almost infinite number of planets to discover.
Roughly 18 quintillion planets to be precise, Hex. Why, to visit each of them for just a single second would take 5 billion Earth years.
Whoa, that's kind of bamboozling, Darren. But while that does sound daunting, fortunately you won't have to visit them all.
Right, so let's start at the beginning.
User initialization sequence complete.
You wake up crash-landed on a planet and must set about finding the necessary materials to repair your ship. It's a great first 20 minutes as you stumble about this alien world for the first time, figuring out what's going on.
And this starting planet is different for each player. It's a unique alien world that stands as your first discovery.
And guys, I love that initial feeling of confusion and loneliness. I'm stranded on an alien planet. Help me, someone. But then you quickly learn how to build an analysis visor, which you use to identify all the alien flora and fauna that you come across. And this is where the game starts to get its hooks in.
Ah, yes, it's one of the most fun things to do early on. Searching for weird little creatures and venturing into strange caves, logging your discoveries, which you can rename.
Units received.
And then you upload them to a global player database. And if another player finds your planet, they'll see everything as you named it, which is pretty cool.
The game's alien life is all procedurally generated too, so that means you can find some extremely odd creations. Some are the icky stuff of nightmares, and some are kind of cute, in a creepy alien way.
I shall call him Lumpy. But apart from all this David Attenborough in a spacesuit business, you'll also need to start mining your resources. These are the materials that you'll need to fix and power things, and then upgrade all your equipment. And using that mining tool was really satisfying.
Yeah, seeing all those resources flying towards you.
Firing my laser!
I like that all the minerals are actually based on the periodic table as well. For example, there's plutonium, zinc, carbon, and even iron. I feel like I'm learning something sciencey. Like if I had this game when I was at school, I would have aced all my tests.
I'm not sure if building spaceship hyperdrives from Iridium is in the school curriculum, Goose.
Totally should be.
Well, you quickly learn that you can only carry so much, though. So a lot of the game becomes about managing your limited inventory slots. Until you can unlock more, at least. Or selling off excess stuff at a nearby trading post.
It doesn't take long before you'll be keen to see what else is out there in the galaxy. And what's amazing is that at no point does this game ever go to a loading screen. You'll fly straight out into space, pick another planet, and hurtle towards it at great speed, all the way down to the surface. Upon which you'll discover a totally new planet to explore. It's just so cool.
Some planets you find may even have hostile conditions, like extreme heat or cold, making it difficult to survive unless you find shelter.
Extreme cold critical.
And when you do find an outpost of some kind, you'll meet one of the game's sentient alien races.
Initializing.
Here, you are sometimes challenged to choose a response for a potential reward, even though you can't understand the alien's language. Learning a bit more about these aliens and their role in the galaxy is interesting, but I just wish the encounters were a bit more meaningful, than just getting an upgrade to your mining laser or whatever.
I was just excited to find more things to click on. Ooh, look, a trading terminal.
If you want to learn the alien languages, you can explore planets for alien monoliths or knowledge stones.
Plus, the ancient alien structures look so cool and mysterious out in the middle of nowhere.
While the game does have a central objective of finding your way to the center of the galaxy, which could take you anywhere between 30 to 100 hours, for me it seems obvious that the game here is not really about reaching a final objective, but in just enjoying the journey along the way. And guys, I'm really enjoying that journey.
I don't know, I got a bit tired of the constant need to mine for resources. It just felt like this endless loop that honestly started to drive me a bit nuts. And I think after you've explored your 10th planet or so, you start to see how repetitive the formula is. The planets may look different, but what you do there is the same each time. To the point where I started to question why I was even playing anymore. I mean, give me something to build, to call my own, something to fight for. Even just a little AI companion, like a little alien dog or something.
Or a snakebird.
Or a snakebird, I would have settled for that.
Well, space is infinite, Hex. You could say that the game is making you feel small and meaningless, and that life ultimately has no purpose.
Whoa, that's kind of deep, Darren. Hex, I see what you mean, but I'm still really enjoying my little space holiday. There are so many cool moments, like the first time you fly into a space station. Or get caught up in a space battle. Or even go underwater for the first time. Plus, the game is just so beautiful, guys. I can't stop taking screenshots.
Yeah, it does look good, but the thrill faded for me a lot faster than I was expecting. The devs have said they're going to add base building in an upcoming patch, and I really hope that's true, because I just feel like this needs a more meaningful layer.
Sure, I think Hello Games should at the very least be applauded for what is an incredible technical achievement. The scale and scope of this nearly infinite universe is amazing, don't you think?
Oh, totally, it can't be faulted there. So what are you going to score it?
I think I'm going to be lost in this one for quite some time. That thrill of heading out to explore a new planet, it just, God, I'm going to say it, it gives me goosebumps. I'm giving it 3.5 rubber chickens.
Well, I don't think we've ever seen anything quite like this before, and I really respect what Hello Games has achieved. But for me personally, it was just a little bit too grindy and with not enough purpose, so I'm giving it 2.5 rubber chickens.
Did you know there are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand in all the beaches on planet Earth?
Wow, so there could be anything out there.
Anything.
Oh!
Snakebird!
Oh, it's just one of those friendly creatures from No Man's Sky.
I think we startled him.
Look at him go.
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
It's okay.
Hi, little guy. Hello.
Okay, Darren, we are almost out of time, so let's hear the answer to your challenge.
Affirmative. At the start of the show, I asked you this. In LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, who is the first character to speak in the game? And the answer is... Emperor Palpatine!
Young Skywalker.
He's such an evil character, isn't he? Even in Lego form. Next week on the show, we'll find out what happens when physics go mad in Human Fall Flat. Well, until next time, may all your games be good ones. Hex out.
Goose out.
Darren out.
Now, Darren, I've been meaning to talk to you about subsection 3, article 42 of the co-host guidelines that stipulates hosts are rewarded with cheese toasties at the end of each episode.
That's true. You are rewarded with the cheese toastie every episode, but you're only paid once a fortnight.
Oh.
So they're cold by then.
Can we look into changing that?
Well, you'd need to talk to accounting, and I'm pretty sure they're all vegans there and they don't like dealing with cheese.
Oh, that's difficult.